There's a lot of public and parental attention on childhood health and nutrition, and as a pediatric dietitian, I think it's incredibly important to promote childhood nutrition, but we cannot do so at the expense of increasing their risk of developing disordered relationships with food, their bodies, and exercise. Here are 6 ways we can help children develop healthy lifestyle habits and positive relationships with food. Encourage children to eat regular meals and avoid irregular eating patterns. Skipping meals and snacks is far too common these days. Kids learn incorrectly from other kids at school, adults in their lives, and even some medical professionals that it's okay to go more than 4 to 5 hours without eating. Fasting for weight management is generally inappropriate for kids and teenagers because they require adequate nutrition for the rapid periods of growth that they're undergoing. From a counseling perspective, the risk of a child developing a negative relationship with food by way of intentional fasting is simply not worth it. Instead, offer a structured meal pattern of about 3 meals and 1 to 2 snacks daily. And we, as the adults in their lives, can do our best to model these positive lifestyle habits to them. For more information, watch my video about structuring your child's eating schedule. I'll link it in the comments. Teach a child to pay attention to their internal hunger and satiety cues. Portion size recommendations can be a helpful tool, but they're generally inadequate when used alone. Our bodies are dynamic, and some days we might feel hungrier or fuller. And while recommended portion sizes can be helpful places to start, they are generally inadequate in reflecting what our bodies actually need each day. Try showing them the hunger and fullness scale and talking to them about how it can help us understand our body's hunger and fullness cues. For more information, watch my kid-friendly video about this tool. I'll link it in the comments. As often as possible, enjoy meals together as a family. Children who eat with their families more often are more likely to eat more fruits and vegetables, experience fewer depressive symptoms, and are less likely to engage in disordered eating behaviors, just to name a few benefits. Mealtimes can be valuable opportunities for parental modeling of positive mealtime behaviors and for family bonding. At the same time, I recognize that not everyone experiences healthy home environments. If able, as an adult in the household, try promoting positive family mealtime environments. Now, this takes time and consistent baby steps if it's not already happening routinely or if there are relational tensions that need to be worked through. Connecting with mental health support like a therapist would be great for this. One guideline I recommend starting off with is setting boundaries around what's brought up in conversation. Keep discussion topics positive for everyone present, minimize fighting, and avoid criticism. This includes topics like eating more, eating less, and body shaming. Another idea is to brainstorm conversation topics beforehand if your family isn't used to interacting with one another positively. These question cards are really designed for teenagers and adults, but there are kid-friendly ones out there. And you can even find family-friendly dinner conversation questions on the internet and just write them down on slips of paper and take turns picking them out throughout the dinner. I'll link a few resources in the comments below. Offer opportunities to enjoy movement. I tend to use the word movement more than exercise because there can be negative connotations around the word for some people, kids included. Movement, on the other hand, is a far broader category and is likely to encompass some of the additional activities that your kids enjoy outside of organized sports and gym class. Movement doesn't have to be a chore nor stressful for their bodies. Find things they can have fun with, walking the dog, playing freeze dance in the living room, going on a scavenger hunt at the park, swimming in the community pool, riding their bike, following a kid-friendly Zumba or yoga video on YouTube, playing Pokemon Go at the mall, or simply just walking around the mall, but maybe with an empty wallet. When it comes to teenagers, I try to remind them that movement can help release stress. They can even enjoy their TV time while they're gently pedaling on a stationary bike, but that screen time has to be within the limits that their caregivers set. Lastly, consider ideas that we as adults can do together with them. Kids can smell double standards from a mile away, even at a young age. Approaching lifestyle modifications from a family-wide lens can help prevent a child from feeling singled out, keeps the changes sustainable, and is beneficial for everyone's health, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Promote a healthy self-image and body satisfaction. We live in a world where the media is constantly telling us that our bodies are not good enough and is trying to sell us ways to achieve idealized body types. Elementary school kids are exposed to these messages, and kids are receptive. They're picking these messages up. While we can't single-handedly control the media, we as the adults in their lives can teach them to value their bodies and all the other traits that make them unique. Practice with them what it means to be grateful for the things that our bodies can do. Legs that can run and play soccer, arms that can give hugs, a mouth that can smile and brighten a room. Teach them that our bodies are dynamic and change over time. Our bodies are resilient and bounce back from illnesses and injuries, but at the same time, they also need to be taken care of. They're not robotic machines. Making healthy lifestyle choices will help our bodies feel stronger for longer. The end goal should not be to achieve a specific body image when so many uncontrollable factors affecting our body size and shape come into play. Remind children that the bodies represented in media do not represent the sheer diversity of body types, sizes, and shapes that exist in the real world. And refrain from weight talk about our weights, about their weights, about anyone else's weights. Rather than commenting on someone's weight or body shape, compliment a personality trait or a clothing item. Lastly, avoid using nicknames or pet names for children or adults based on one's physical size. Those can really hurt someone's feelings. Let's shift diet culture by raising a future generation that respects their bodies and others as the unique gifts that they are. Help them learn to manage stress in a healthy way. Child and adolescent brains don't manage stress the same way adult brains do. And let's face it, even adults have trouble managing stress. To start off, set boundaries so they turn off screens at least 30 minutes before going to bed so they can get at least 8 hours of quality sleep each night. And if your child is struggling with sleep, talk to their pediatrician about a referral to a sleep specialist. Secondly, work with your child to develop a toolbox of strategies that they can resort to when they're feeling stressed out. As a pediatric dietitian, I recognize that there is an emotional component to food. Foods don't only give us pleasure because they taste good or are associated with a celebratory experience. Certain foods actually boost our serotonin levels, our happy hormone. I like to make myself a cup of hot chocolate every now and then when I'm feeling stressed out. However, relying solely on food to help us feel better when we're stressed out isn't going to address the root cause of the stress. Similarly, eating to suppress our emotions or starving our bodies as a form of punishment or as a way to get control is not productive nor healthy. Instead, let's add other calming activities to their toolkit to help lift their mood. Going for a walk, playing with a pet, crying it out with a trusted family member, having some alone time and coloring, watching TV, or praying. Lastly, don't hesitate to reach out to therapists, school counselors, or other mental health experts for extra support, particularly on long-term challenges or particularly complicated situations.